Hey folks, how's it going? This is Mr. Moray coming to you with a video discussing how to use the online homework system at my.hrw.com. I'm making this video. I did make one for Course 2 honors, but I'm making a special video as well just for Course 1 honors so you can see what this video is going to look like for you, because the problems I'm going to assign are obviously going to cover different content because we're learning different stuff. All right. So it's really important that you watch this video if you don't know how to use the system, because if you ask me any questions that I answer in this video, I'm just going to tell you, please go watch the video. Okay. So please take the time to watch this so that you can understand how to use it. Now remember, I usually don't do the online homework because it's not perfect. There are some kinks in the system, so to speak, but I like this system because, as you're going to see, it gives you immediate feedback. It gives you ways to get a little bit of extra help with examples and step-by-step solutions, and it also has links directly to things like the textbook specific to that concept, so you can get a little bit of support if you need it, okay? So at this point, by the time you're watching this video, in your email is going to be a username and password. The username should look more or less familiar to you because it's close to your Milton email account, okay? Your password, on the other hand, is not going to be as familiar. It's going to look like a bunch of random numbers and letters, and excuse me because I'm just turning on my mouse as well. So it's going to look like a bunch of random numbers and letters, and when you first go to log in with it, it should ask you to change it. Okay, so mine is already set up, so I'm going to enter my username and password. As you can see, it's Milton High. I'm going to enter that username and password, and I'm going to log in. Okay, and you can see here's my assignments. They're right here. So you can see I've got my Course 2 honors assignment here, mixed trig review, and I've got my Course 1 honors, and then this is what we're going to do today. You should only see this one. I recommend that you do get in the habit of clicking on my assignments so you can see everything that's been assigned to you, because eventually what's going to happen is if there's too many assignments here, maybe not all of them are going to show up, okay? So if you get to a point where you're like, oh, Mr. Moray, I can't see my assignment, just check there. The other thing you're going to want to look at for each assignment is you can see details, which tell you some overall not as important, but you are going to want to look at the note. So see, I've left you a note here. So it says, here's a practice test for Course 1 honors. Try your best on these questions so you can get accustomed to how it works. You only need to get an 80 or higher, okay? And the reason I do that is because these problems are going to be randomized. So you and someone else might have similar numbers, and that's okay. You guys can work with each other. It's a homework. But because of the tweaking with the numbers, there might be some situations where the software does not calculate the answers correctly. Remember how I had factor.willnot.fail where you did that practice? So like I had to tell the computer how to know whether your answer was right. And so sometimes, as these programmers did, there's a little bit of mistakes that happen, okay? And so because of those bugs, I make it so you only need to get 80 so that you don't get a bad grade because of the bugs, because that's obviously, I understand that that's not fair. Before you open any assignment, you do want to make sure that your pop-up blocker is turned off. One of the very common things that happens is that you're going to click start and nothing's going to show up. Okay, if that happens, look for a notification. If it's Google Chrome, look up at your address bar. You might not be able to see it, but my address bar is up top. That's where pop-up block will be. For more information on how to make sure your pop-up blocker is set up correctly, I recommend you Google that. But again, only if that happens to you. Okay, so you can see that this says start, and the reason it says start is because I've never started this assignment yet. So I'm going to press the start button, and that will get things started. Okay, and you can see my pop-up blocker looks good because it's actually coming up, and you're going to be presented with a problem. Some things you're going to want to know. Okay, so this is the question you need to solve. You can see here that there's a number of different questions. You can click this arrow to go to the next question, and that arrow to go back. You can click the double arrow to skip way down the list. Okay, you can do these questions in whatever order you'd like. That's okay. I don't care about the order you do them in, just like any homework assignment, right? You can jump around, do them in whatever order you want. Okay, some other things you might want to know. These two buttons here, turn it in, save and close. Okay, turn it in, you're going to press at the end when you're ready to turn in your assignment, when every single problem has been tried. Save and close will save your progress, and it will then close it, I'll show you, right? And take you back to this, right, where you see it says resume. Never exit by closing the tab. If you do that, it's not going to necessarily save your work. So please make sure, and that's okay, you don't have to do it all in one shot. Maybe you come back. Please make sure you do save and close. Okay? Main other thing, if you're stuck, what's going on here? I forget. You click this button here, and I'll drag this into view. It will actually pull up the section from the textbook, the student edition, that has some additional information. So I don't always draw my lessons directly from the textbook, but if you find this to be a helpful resource, all you do is click on that button right there, and it will pull up whatever section of the textbook is related to the problem you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to try to solve this problem. So the graph shows the functions, this and this, which are the same. Select those that apply. So I can see that the domains are the same. They're both negative infinity to infinity. I can see that the axis of symmetry is the same. It's the x equals 0. And I can see the vertex is the same at 0, 0. So I select my questions, and now to make sure I get credit, I'm going to hit check answer. Okay, I'm correct. Now it doesn't look like it, but when I move to the next question, you're going to see this is checked off to indicate that I'm done. Now this question looks a little bit tough, so I'm going to come back to this one, and I'm going to skip to question 4, where I need to solve this equation. Now I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't even know where to start. So if you're stuck, what I recommend you do, check out this thing step by step. So what it's going to do is it's going to take me through step by step how to solve it. And that's really cool because I might not be there to help you with that. So see what it's telling me. Okay, so first I need to add the 84. Oh, nice, I'm right. So what's the next step? So basically it's now asking me to factor this. So I need to identify my B and C values. So my B is 44 and my C is 84. Okay, nice. Right? Now, like we talked about, since both B and C are positive, the factors are going to have the same sign, and the factors I believe it's getting at should be positive. Right? And now it's taking us through, oh yeah, I need to find out what numbers multiply to 84, right? 1 and 84, 2 and 42, etc. And now we'll add them up to see if they're going to add up, right? This is like what we do with the box. Okay, so now the factors who pair equals 44 is 2 and 42. Okay, so it takes me through that step. All right, so that's the factors. And now I get my solution, -2 and -42. Perfect. Okay, and so now when I go to try another, see it changes the problem, but now I've had the opportunity to think about how I do that. So in this case, I'm going to say, oh, well, I add the 84, so I guess it must be 84 and 1, and so then you can use that to give you kind of like a practice in case there's things you forget. Now this one, I don't know what's going on, so maybe I want to see an example. So what you can see as in the example is it's actually shown us how to solve it step by step. Oh, okay, so identify the B and C. I figure out the factors. Okay, it's x minus 3 and x minus 9. So my solutions are 3 and 9. All right, I think I see what they're doing. Let me try it myself. Okay, and as you can see, it's changed the problem a little bit. And so I now think, okay, so factors are 27. Oh, I see. So it's got to be negative 27 and negative 1. So my solutions are 27 and 1. And so on and so on. All right, and that's kind of how it works. You just keep working at it, etc., etc. And then when you're ready, like I said, when you're done with all of them, you're going to click Turn It In. Now, in my case, it's going to prompt you and it's going to say, oh, you haven't done all the questions. Do you sure you want to turn it in? If you've done them all and you have checks on all of them or etc., that's okay. Now, you may reach a limit. So sometimes you're only going to be able to get it wrong so many times. Let's say I check my answer. Let's say I get it. Let's say I want to do, let me do one that's a little bit of like solving. Like this one. Okay, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to enter some random things. 1 and 2. Let's say I get it wrong. So see, it will give me some guidance here. I hope that eventually it'll give me the answer. Maybe eventually it should give you the answer, unless I've given you like a really large number of attempts. So it eventually might give you the answer and mark you wrong. And if so, that's okay. See, I didn't get it right. That's all right. But when you're done, you're going to get Turn It In. Okay, again, if you've done them all, this should not come up. It'll just let you turn it in. And then what will happen is you'll know you're right. Now, obviously, I didn't get this right. All right, yours will say a better grade. But you'll see it'll be turned in. You'll have a score immediately. And this will have disappeared. Now, if you want to view your results, you just hit View. And now it will take you through and it will show you which ones you've got right and which ones you've got wrong. And then if you want to view them, you click the number, okay? And it will show you the correct response and your response. Okay, so you can see that. And maybe this one I got wrong. So it will show me, oh, darn it, I wanted 4 and 14. Okay, so that's just a little crash course on how this works. Okay. So hopefully this video was helpful to understand like some of the ideas. Please feel free to use this as much as you want. This is here for you. Don't get bogged down by any errors with the system. So the reason that I haven't used it again up to this point is because I haven't wanted homework to be characterized by stress. And sometimes when we see, oh, it's telling me I'm wrong, but I know I'm right, that becomes stressful. That's kind of like, and that's not what I want you to associate with homework. But unfortunately, given the circumstances with us being closed, I think this is the best way to get you guys, one, immediate feedback, because I can't just do a homework recap the next day and have a question and answer session. Okay, so it gets you that immediate feedback. It gets you a grade. So as soon as I see this grade, Mr. Moray's got it. I've turned it in. I'm good. No pictures, no email. You got it. It's in. It's good. You're getting credit for it. Okay. So last thing you can do is if you view, click on this, you can actually see all of the assignments that you've turned in. So you can get a progress report that tells you how you're doing if you want to do something like that. Okay. So again, hopefully you found this video to be helpful. Please try your best to do the assignment that I've assigned to you today. We'll keep working at it. We'll keep building up our skills. Don't let it get you down. Good luck. Let me know if you got questions and have a wonderful day.